welcome back for another Down Dog update. Today I traveled to Philadelphia to talk with Traci Childress at the Children's Community School. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about your school and what you guys aim to do here?
Sure. So we're an early childhood school. We're a preschool that serves ages 2 to 5. And next year we're going to start at 18 months because we're moving to a space where we can have more children.
Awesome.
And we started the school, as I said, 5 years ago and really wanted to infuse our curriculum with mindfulness. So not just introduce mindfulness exercises, but figure out how to create a mindful culture in an early childhood setting so that it's meaningful and really helps to build sort of mindfulness muscles, is what I call it sometimes, for our community of young children.
Can you talk a little bit more about how you incorporate mindfulness into the classroom?
We help them to notice their breath. From the very beginning, we do simple exercises. You saw some of them in the classroom where we'll stop and we'll take a breath. We talk about breath. You know, we all have it, but we don't all know. Children maybe or maybe don't have an awareness that it's there. So the first thing we do is just build that in. Like, you have breath, and we do exercises with it.
Don't forget to breathe in. Let's try that at one again. Let's breathe in and out.
Focus on. It's always in our minds to kind of be aware of when the kids need to take a moment and take a breath or take a moment to do something with their bodies. So let's say that we've been having a circle time meeting and they're getting antsy or they need to move, then we would know, oh, they need this right now. They need a moment to sort of do something where they're making like a mind-body connection by using their bodies and taking different kinds of breaths. So
we offer opportunities for them to tell us what they notice. Or we say, I notice I'm hungry, or I notice I'm feeling tired, and then I might point out, like, I notice that you look tired. So we model things that we notice in the moment, and we encourage them to do that. So it builds self-awareness. And they start to be able to engage with one another that way. So when they notice themselves, then over time we help them bridge the capacity to notice others. So one of the things that I love that we do, we also integrate the idea of sending well wishes to others. If someone's absent, we don't just ignore that. In our circle time, we say, oh, I noticed that Jared isn't here today. He's out sick. What could we send to Jared today? You know, maybe they think of something, or we might prompt them. Let's send well wishes. And it really does build, like, it's almost as if it were a muscle that we're building, and they start to be able to use these skills.
Yeah. I like snow because it doesn't make any noise and you look at it out of the sky.
Yeah, I think so.
Here, why do you have this thing?
Helps me be calmer.
Yeah. Where did you get it from?
From the peace corner.
The Peace Corner. Why do we have to have a Peace Corner in our classroom?
Helps us be quieter.
Yeah. When would you go to the Peace Corner?
If you have a problem or if you're really sad.
Yeah. And the Peace Corner is just a place where you can kind of chill out, huh? Yeah. And what kinds of things do we have in the Peace Corner to help you be calm?
Like shells and books.
Yeah, peaceful books and shells and this thing, right?
Mhm.
You can watch the stars fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And colors.
but starting so young seems so key, because by the time then they're 3, they already know these different like routines and breathing exercises and different things, and they can put words to it and use it to problem solve. And then when they're 4, they can take it to another level and help someone else to problem solve.
Just being able to stop, breathe, and listen, which is those phrases we use in the school. Stop, breathe, and listen. I mean, a 2-year-old conflict is often something like, I want your toy. I believe if we learn how to navigate those things when we're young, those are just skills we're going to develop as we age.
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely. We actually met at the conference for kids yoga in Washington, D.C., where you spoke about what you're doing here with the school. And so you are involved in the yoga community as well. And I'm just wondering, do you incorporate yoga specifically into the school day?
You know, I made a choice together with my partner, my co-founder. Whenever we started the school, I am a yoga and a mindfulness practitioner, and familiar with curriculums and programs in both, as you pointed out. And I think that mindfulness felt more accessible to, and in the terms of not excluding anybody in our community at the time. And the research, the mindfulness, the research around mindfulness is more advanced than around yoga, mindfulness in school. So I think that it felt like I could base our curriculum on really solid research, just about mindfulness in general, in a more articulated way.
Yeah.
Having said that, we certainly use some yoga. I mean, children at this age love to move. So we do a lot of movement. Breath and mindfulness are not unrelated to yoga. So we have had, we had a teacher one year that did a yoga training with Jennifer of Little Flower Yoga. Yeah. And she brought some of those exercises and practices into the classroom that fit perfectly with our overall curriculum. So we're certainly doing a little bit of both, I would say.
Since your children have gone to the school, have you noticed in their lives and everyday life, are they incorporating these practices?
One night, one of them couldn't sleep, and he said, I have to get up. And, I was like, no, it's time to go to bed. You have to stay in the bed. And he said, no, I have to go do some yoga to breathe myself to calmness. And I thought, wow. So there are those moments. And I think the thing to remember as parents or as educators is it takes a long time. And you never know. You can't really always see what's happening on the inside. So you have to kind of trust that things unfold. And that's why I think having it be a daily practice at the school, that we use the breath and noticing and sending well wishes, it's sort of planting seeds. And we're not going to go measure it with some special, how much can this kid do this? Because there's a lot you don't see.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the information. You guys are moving into a new school in the future, so it just seems like you're going to continue this practice with the kids and continue to grow and help change more people's lives, because that's what it seems like you guys are really doing here.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks so much for talking with me and letting me come and check out what is going on here in Philadelphia with one of the only or first mindful schools. Are there any other actually in the area?
I don't know.
So if you're in the Philadelphia area, this is definitely one to check out if that's something that you're interested in for your children. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Snake.
Snake is your favorite animal breath? And when you make a snake breath, how does it feel?
Kind of nice.
Wait, you want to try it? Kind of nice. Ready? What about, what my favorite one is? You want to guess? It's not really an animal breath, it's the mountain pose, where we spread out our fingers. We spread them out. Ready? And take a breath. Do you feel it in your belly or your chest when you breathe?
My chest.
In your chest. How does it feel when you breathe?
Good.
It feels good?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it feels good to me too.